Hi crafters, this is Crafty Shabby and I'm here today to share a little project with you. This is a project that I created using, I think it's a series of 6 videos that Wenche from Finally Crafting just recently put out. So it wasn't a challenge or anything, but she created the videos with a lovely tutorial, easy to follow, and sort of asked that if there was anybody who wanted to play along, that they should, and maybe record their project when they were done. As soon as I saw that little project, I knew I wanted to try it, so here it is. Like I said, she's got a lovely tutorial, and it's easy to follow because she's broken it up into several videos, and so you can sort of take your time and, you know, watch one video and go back and sort of decorate and do the things that you want to do. Great job, Wenche. I loved your videos, and I love the project, and I will certainly be making more of these. In the end result, I'm about 5 by 3.5. Some things I did a little differently, but mostly it's everything that she shows in her video. Very clear, and so I just love it. So what it is I think she's calling it a shabby chic paper. I'm not sure if she's calling it a paper bag journal or not, but there is a paper bag in there, which I'll show you. And the other thing that she uses are, so you'll need a punch board or some way to make some envelopes. You'll make 3 envelopes out of the same size paper. But because she turns one of them in another direction, it almost looks like there's different envelopes in there, but they're not. They're all the same. So you'll need your punch board. And the only other thing you'll need is some bags. Now you could probably make this project with any size that you want. You'll just have to alter certain things, but these are the size that I believe she used. They could have been a smidge bigger, I'm not sure, but this is what I used, and it worked out perfectly for the size envelopes that she says to make. So there's the size. These were just from Michael's, sorry, celebrate it. So little, sorry about the glare, little paper bags. And then her project is super feminine and beautiful, and pinks and greens, and really beautiful. I think it's like maybe a periwinkle. I'm not sure, like a little blue, but hers is gorgeous. And it takes me a little time to get into that kind of look. As much as I love it, I have a hard time with sort of flowery and frilly. Not that I don't like it, I love it. I wish I was better at it, that's all. So I started with something a little bit more vintagey, and the next one, because I'm going to make another one now, is going to be a little bit more feminine. But my papers that I used for this are super, super old, guys, and I don't even know what the name of this is, but I got this, I believe, I don't even know the date. I'm trying to look for... Anyway, I believe Momenta is a Walmart brand. I think I got this at Walmart. 2013 right there. So super old. And I don't even think it has a name. It has a lot number. 20471R4. And I loved it because it's got postcards on it, and it's sort of travel themed and sort of world. There's some suitcases and maps, and yeah, and it's textured. You can probably hear it. It's kind of beautiful feeling paper, so I wanted to use it. And then for some of my accents, I use another super old thing. Trying to go through my stash. So it's from Crepe Paper, and it's called Portrait Collection, and I just used some of their there's a sticker sheet and cutouts and stuff. So I used those for accents, and then I used a whole bunch of other stuff from my stash. that's how it looks. And I love it. It fits in your hand so nicely. It would make such a beautiful gift. So I didn't like that my, you know, where everything joins together was showing. So I just attached a piece of lace there. So it kind of goes around. That's the back. And this is just cutouts from that paper. I just cut out what I liked. I was going to put this on the front originally, but then changed my mind. So I used a postcard. I've got some burlap that that's not burlap, that's cross stitch material, and I frayed the edges. And there's just a little piece from that kit that I showed you. And then, whoop, that actually just pulls out, and just a couple of things on a little swivel there. And that just goes in there. I used some seam binding for the closure. And this was super fun to put together. I just love doing this. So on the first page is the first envelope that you make. And I decorated my flap with a few doilies. There's some, it just escaped me completely what that's called. Anyway, there's a little ticket on there with a vintage button, and you open it up. I magnetized mine, so there's a magnet in here, under here, and under here, because this was very heavy on the flap, and I didn't want it flopping out all over the place, so I put in a magnet. And then inside is a little postcard, and I will be putting more things in there. Some more places to journal and some extra bits. And then that's just a paper button that I used, and I backed it on a doily. There. I put some trim on the bottom. And Wenche goes through all of this with you. She's so good, and she's so pleasant to listen to. And just did some layering there. So this is some ribbon that I use to tie down this section. So this section right here is actually the paper bag, and you attach a bunch of papers to it so that you also have a journal here, so which is very clever. And so it starts here. I have a little tag that I made, and she shows a very clever way. I've seen someone else do it before, but never paid attention to it until Wenche did it. But she makes and I didn't make this one that way, but she uses a fork to make her little teeny tiny bows, and I thought that was very interesting. I wish I could remember now if that was the 5th video. I'll try to find it. So yeah, and a little paper clip. Just use paper for that one. So I believe, Wenche, I made the same mistake as you after you said we made an error, and I had done the same thing, and I glued this piece down to this piece of paper. So I guess in her original this was open, and we were able to tuck something in there, but it's okay. This works for me too. I like it probably better. And because it just added a little bit of interest here. So that opens up, and then inside is just a series of papers that you have in your stash. I just attached a little flag to that one that says notes. Some ledger paper, another one of my stickers that I had, some tracing paper, some more places for journaling. And then that's the back cover. So that's a nice little journaling book that's attached to it. And that's all attached with that ribbon. So you poke holes through it. And so this is still the paper bag that we're working on. So I just love this. There's just so many little secret places, and it's so much fun to put together. So then on this page, I just put this little boarding pass sticker And I tucked a few extra little pieces into it. That all has to do with traveling and trains and planes and that kind of neat stuff. And then on this page, she goes through, you know, putting a piece of book page down and then make this little tuck spot. And then I just attach some more ephemera. There's a passenger's check and a little ticket. And then we made another paper clip. That all goes there. I use some pom-pom trim down here. Then this is the back side of the bag. So how this is the flap of the bag. We just flipped it over this way, and it becomes excuse me, it becomes a little flap. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to leave it open or not, but I did. So, I mean, really, if you wanted to use that as a tuck spot, you could tuck something, a tag into there would be nice also. But I just attached some fabric to it, a little strip, photo strip there, a little ticket, because you might see a show or a movie when you're away. And then when you flip that open, I put a vintage piece of lace. These are actually some real stamps from France. My son just ordered something and it came from France, and I've been using the stamps that were on the envelope because there were, like, I don't know, a lot of them. And I kind of used that to match the burgundies that are in paper here. And then, so again, Wenche, I made a mistake, and this piece of paper that we used here as a hinge to stick these two things together, I glued mine down. So you did, I don't think you did, but it was supposed to be a pocket. So I just found a piece of ephemera and I glued it over top, and because I still wanted a pocket there. So that's how I fixed that. But she does show how this would become a pocket. I made a mistake. And again, I used a magnet because it wasn't staying closed how I wanted to. And I didn't cover it, so I probably should cover that because it's horrible looking. And then there's just some ephemera in there. The other day I was playing around, I found some old paper and it was all a bunch of series of squares, so I cut out all the squares and backed it with some other paper and took it to my sewing machine and made these little things, and glad I did because I've been using them up. And I was just trying to use the colors that match. Just a little bit of red in there. I like little pops of this burgundy color. And so that closes up. And then on this page is another pocket. I remembered not to glue this down this time. And I just put some ephemera in there. Slides in there. So I might fit some more things in there for sure. And some more really cute trim. This is a sticker with the months on it, and some more pom-pom trim on the bottom. And then this is another envelope. So this is the second envelope that you make. And again, I just did some, and the envelopes that Wenche does, and she shows with all of the beautiful, she uses a bird, and oh, it's so beautiful. I think I might have to definitely make a more, I say feminine, but sort of pretty looking one. I think I went on the safe side here a little bit. But I will try. So I just used a doily or several doilies. There's a piece of lace and a little cabin baggage tag there. And what is it? Eyelash trim, right? Is that right? Eyelash trim under there. And so you open this up, and we don't glue this envelope together. It just kind of opens up, so I'll just show you one flap at a time here. So I just attached another piece of that ephemera from that paper kit that I have. And then on this flap here, I attached some more ephemera, so that opens up. And how you hinge these two parts together is by putting something here to attach them. So that's what I used. So that opens up. And then on this flap, I just attached a ticket, a railway ticket, and a tag there with some lace. And that opens up. And then inside, Wenche shows you how to make a little file folder. She uses a die for hers. And I believe I have a We Are Memories Keeper little thing that I could probably use, but I just made my own. I just folded a piece of paper in half and trimmed down this side here, and then, you know, made the little tab on the other side. So it wasn't that hard to do. But you could probably put anything there, another little envelope or anything that works for you. And then inside is just some more ephemera, some tickets there. So cute. Just some stickers that I put down, and this was a sticker, and it had these little notches, and I just wanted to wrap things around it, so that's what I did. I just took some twine and wrapped around it, made a little bow. And again, I used a magnet, which I should probably cover, to keep the whole thing closed. Hers stayed closed very nicely, and it would stay closed, but I just wanted to reinforce it to make sure that nothing would fall out. So you just close that back up. And there's lots of stuff in there. That's why I love it. And it's all hidden away like a little secret. So that closes up like that. And then on this page is the third envelope that you make, but you turn it the long way, so it doesn't even look like any of these, which is so nice, but it is the same piece of paper. So I just used some string. So, and then inside, under here, you can tuck some extra ephemera. That's what I did. Some little tickets and things. And then inside there is just a little tag. And I'll put more things in there probably for journaling and maybe some extra bits. So that just all tucks in there. And I will put this in later. Oh. Just tie that. I use some more lace on the bottom. Sorry. There. And that's it. That's the back. This is just some green seam binding that I had. I kind of like the dark contrast on the book. And that's it. So I will put links down below to Wenche's channel. She's finally crafting here on YouTube, and she says that she's just getting into tutorials, but everything she does is so inspiring and beautiful, and I think you're doing a great job, Wenche, on tutorials. I found this a great project and easy to follow, and the result was just beautiful, and that's what it's all about. So you keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing something right and good, and you guys are all going to have a great time making this, because I certainly did. So go over and check her out and show her some love and try this project, because you'll be glad you did, okay? Hope you guys are all well, and we'll talk to you all real soon. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.